Hello and welcome to Chule Cookie's new development blog. Today, welcome to episode number 6. And we are going to discuss all about animation in the rough final stages. So I've gone ahead and I've done the animation not the all animation, the first pose for all the characters, just to see how it looks. So this is a little preview you guys can see. It's all separated into symbols basically, so it's easy to move around and duplicate and change all the stuff as we need. So what I'm doing is I'm gonna go item per item in a few poses of Chule. I'm gonna go ahead and follow the rough that I had done before and make it into a new shape basically. This is gonna allow me to reuse a bunch of symbols that I had already defined. So it's gonna be, the file is gonna end up more organized and easier to work with, basically. The process is still the same as the one in the last video. We're gonna go symbol by symbol, but it's gonna be way faster because the initial rough layout for the characters is already set. So we don't have to worry about an extra headache of positioning, in a way. I mean, positioning as in depth of the items, basically. So here we can go actually back and forth. As you can see, I copied one side of the previous pose, shifted a little bit, and then started moving the items apart. And then I create new layers if I need to overpose new things or if I need to create new symbols and stuff. And transitioning between this pose and the other pose it's gonna be no problem in the end. It's gonna be easier to work with this way, so I highly recommend it. As you can see, like for example, the hat symbol has already quite a few keyframes, but in the outside symbol they're set to be done to work as one frame, so that's gonna make it well, it's gonna keep just like a graphic, and it's really optimized, so it's easy to and fast to load. In the end, of course, all these animations are gonna be done they're gonna be exported as PNG sequences and then remade into another software, but that will come after, a lot after. So for now, we're just worrying about vector work. We can scale it as we want after, and then detail it more if we need to. So it's quite simple and efficient, and an efficient way of doing animation. Because in the end, what you really want is to make it quick, and yeah, don't lose too much time, and see the results and see the performance of the character fast. That's important. For me, the step I enjoy the most, of course, for me, it's rough animation, because I can just go nuts with a pencil and just sketch as much as I want. This part is it's a little bit more tedious, but I enjoy it too. So here, as you can see, where each section of the character is like its own little symbol. So here, for example, it's the legs. It's only one symbol, but it's duplicated for every leg, and it's set in a different keyframe. And so actually, it's just one symbol that is looking at a different frame. And it's going to stay like that. That's the power of graphics. The downside with graphics is that if you want to actually program it, you can't really control it. That's the thing. So if you want to control it, go with movie clips. I mean, control it with ActionScript, by the way. Sorry, I'm a bit nervous. It's the first time I'm recording with a camera. Alright, so we have our basic pose. We have a second pose ready. We're going to go ahead and start a third pose. I think in this video we're gonna do I think 4 or 5 poses. Not really sure yet. Let's check it out and see how it goes. Haha. Here I made a little mistake that I want to point out. The shadow, I moved the shadow. I should have left it in the same place, which is something I'm gonna do after this pose. So here, as you can see, I'm just reusing the elements, just shifting them a little bit. So positioning of the eyes, positioning of the hair, and even the mouth is it's super fast to do in a way. You just do it once and that's it. That's gonna be it. And the cool thing about animation is it's not really about the drawing, it's more about the timing, the spacing, and even if the drawing is fast, you can still read pretty well, even if the eye is not perfectly positioned or whatever. It's okay. And also, since these characters are super small and they're gonna read pretty small in the final version, it's okay. I mean, there's space for error too, and unless you want to be like super peaky to the pixel, then it's okay. You don't really have to worry. Once we see the animation with all the characters and everything, it's gonna be clear that sticking and making the feet absolutely, the leg absolutely perfect, or the mouth absolutely perfect, it really is okay if it's not perfect. The reason is because there's gonna be a lot of motion, and there's gonna be a lot of characters moving around. So the overall feeling is more about the overall motion, not about the shape of the mouth in a certain frame. So something to keep in mind is just try to optimize as much as you can. Again, this is not my full speed. This is fast. So yeah, here's a little stretch pose. I don't know if you guys saw my previous video, the one where I show when I do the rough for this version. I explain a little bit about a bouncing ball. Since these characters are very, very simple, the shapes are basically spheres or square. It's easy to deform it and just playing along with it. I'm actually in the end probably gonna end up stretching it even more just to give it a more cartoony flavor to it. So there we go. Then we finish another pose. Now we're gonna go with the stretch in the air, the initial stretch, which is basically the jump in the air. So we'll see how it goes. Again, following the same procedure. Oh, here I'm doing what I was talking about, the shadow. I'm like, oops, I did a mistake. Gotta move a little. So, and it's not a symbol even, so it's important. So there, I fixed it, and now we fixed a little bit more the other pose. You gotta think about inertia. So in this example, for example, well, you see the hat. The hat was like a little bit too much up in the air in that pose. So in the previous one, I actually make it more down. So the whole element goes like a little bit like that. There we go. This is the stretch frame. In this frame, since they pass super quick, it's probably on ones or twos. The important thing is just the color movement, because it's basically like a motion blur. Just to keep in mind, you don't need to do the legs perfectly. As you see, I'm not even using the body. I'm just sketching it right there. And adding like these little tiny smears in. So it's gonna read well. I think it's gonna read well in the end. Yeah, so as you can see, not even for the hat, I'm doing a new hat. Since it's a speed frame, every speed frame, it tends to be kind of different in a way. So just having it as a shape, and since it's also a motion blur kind of feeling, I mean, it's okay. You don't really need to worry too much. But of course, after the motion is done, is when we'll start tweaking it. So just to keep that in mind. We might come after and change some things. Since the curve of my mouth changes in this pose, and actually if you see the direction, it's important to have the same direction, like a little arrow in a way, like pointing. So even the eyes need to be that direction. Everything has to follow the same flow or the same rhythm. That's what's important. So there we go. I believe this pose is pretty much done. I deleted all the other elements so we can continue. So here he was scrubbing really quick. Blah, blah, blah. I'm probably gonna add an antique after, just a little bit like a motion, and the character's gonna be talking and stuff. But this is basically the way I go for it. This second smear frame is pretty much the same as the one before, so we'll see if we can get away with just reusing it, not worrying about it. Let's just reuse it and see how it goes. As you can see also, the jump, it's doing a little bit of a curve. That is important. Try to avoid, always in animation, try to avoid straight lines. In motion, I mean, because it always needs that extra thing. Okay, so I guess we're gonna leave all of that for today. Thank you guys a lot for watching this. I hope it wasn't too boring, and I hope you guys like seeing me. So yeah, keep in touch, and let me know what you think. Hope you guys learned something, and cheers.